What's wrong? What's wrong? What do you mean? What do you mean? Huh? Paul? Good boy. High five? Good boy. He, for some reason, doesn't like this. Hey! Hey! Stop! Shh. Say hi to everybody before you go. I'm taking this guy to get groomed. Yeah, he needs to get everything done with him, and then I'm gonna do that, and then we'll go ahead and start with the video. But I know there's like a good handful of you guys wanting to know how this little guy is. Hey, Gotham. Damn, my bad. Back from the groomers. Look at this little guy. Gotham. Hey, Papa. Papa, look up here. Dude, his coat is so shiny. You know the only thing I don't like though? I don't know if you guys can see it. His nails are like really flat. Let's go ahead and open up Mr. Instagram. And for sale. Ooh. Ollie's Garage, dude, you do some awesome work. Swear this guy's fun. Hey. So I posted a picture on Instagram and I put, just ask me away. So this is gonna be another Q&A video. Haven't really done one in a while. So let's go ahead and just start. So one of you guys, if you guys want to actually see them, you guys can actually just go on my Instagram. And I'm surprised I only got about 10 questions, but that's about it. That's all we're gonna do. So let's go ahead and get started. If you guys want to keep up with this so that maybe next time I do another Q&A, follow my Instagram right here, Castillo2240. Pretty simple, same thing as my Snapchat. So yeah, Gino Rorda. Sorry if I butcher your guys' name. My question is, what do you think about Royce parting out his Civic and getting an FA5? Would you ever get one? And when you down to set up a meet on Forza Horizon 3? Question mark. Not all your subscribers live in Cali, so we can't just meet up like that. Okay. So about the whole Royce thing, I do respect the guy. He does do amazing work on YouTube and Instagram, everything, especially about his car and all that. So I can understand where he's coming from, especially because the FG2 isn't compared to the FA5 in mods list. Yes, they're the same car, but for starters, 2-door versus 4-door, Japan has more parts for it in the 4-door version, and you can do so many JDM swap conversions and all the good stuff. Shut up! And all the good stuffs. And there's more aftermarket support, if that's the best thing I can say, especially for cosmetics. So I can see why he's doing that. Would I ever get an FA5? No, I'm not a big fan of them. I don't like how, that's the main reason why I got an FG2. I went into it knowing that the FA5 did have a lot more cosmetic aftermarket support, but I just like 2-doors better. I personally prefer 2-doors than 4-doors. Only couple 4-doors I would get that only come in 4, it's like the WRX, Evo, Focus ST, RS, Golf, GTI, Golf R, you know, like those are probably the only cars I would ever get in a 4-door, Type R. But when it comes to actual like coupes, all the other cars, I'm gonna stick with the coupe. Like Infiniti G35, 37 coupe, the Honda Civic Si coupe, the 10th Gen Si coupe. There is only one sedan I do like, and that's the 9th Gen, the FB6, I think that's what it's called, the 9th Gen sedan. I actually do like that one better than the 9th Gen coupe. But I mean, if I was meant to get an FA5, I would rather get an FB6. That's just me though. When are you down to set up a meet on Forza Horizon 3? If you guys want to follow me on Xbox, it's right here. Same thing, Castillo22. You okay, bro? Castillo2240. I rarely go on it. I usually play Fortnite or Forza Horizon 3 on it. Once Horizon 4 comes out, I'm probably going to be on that a lot on it, so bet on that. And I don't know, maybe we can hang out and chill on that sometime instead of a real live meet, just because I'm not going to be hosting a real live meet anytime soon until LA settles down. Because right now, if you guys have witnessed one of the latest meets that were in LA, people were vandalizing, they were jumping on police cars, on securities, they were fighting. Like, dude, I'm not down for that. So I'm gonna stay away from car meets for a bit until it finally settles down. That kind of makes sense, maybe why the SoCal Civic meet cruise hasn't really been active as much as they should. Usually we would have been on the 3rd or 4th meet by now this year. It's been really active in LA, and it's probably not the best time to even do that, to even think about that. So yeah, hopefully that answered your question right there. Star FG2 Hector, why are you out here shooting without me? Bitch, because you work throughout the week. I have random weekdays. I have random days off, so you already know. Adam 2 Saucy, thinking about selling my FA5 for a BRZ, but I'm also thinking about keeping the FA5 and getting the BRZ. Any suggestions on what I should do? If you plan, okay, so, but I'm also thinking about keeping the FA5 and getting the BRZ. You should probably do that first, get both cars, see if you can afford insurance on both of them. I know the BRZ is going to be a lot more expensive than the FA5 because 2 to 4 doors and then sports car, non-sports car. So I would get that. And then if you soon realize that you're not driving both cars, then, you know, sell the FA5. But maybe now that you have the BRZ, if you do end up getting the BRZ, you can start having the FA5 as a project car, and whenever you have the extra money, you can put money on that. That way, if one car goes down, you still have another car as a backup. Does that make sense? So I would prefer to choose to keep both cars, but look into insurance, look into space, because I don't know if you live in an apartment or if you live in a house or if you have a driveway. You gotta make sure you have a good parking spot for that, and just see which one you like better. I mean, they're both wonderful cars. I've driven the Victor's FRS plenty of times. I've driven a stick shift and as well as an automatic. I do prefer the automatic, so I mean, I do prefer the stick shift. So if I were in your shoes, I would get a stick shift BRZ and keep my FG2, and just plan on keeping both for a while. Did you ever have to roll your fenders to fit your wheels? Thinking about getting 17x9, but I don't know if I'm going to have to roll my fenders or not. Yes, you do. A lot of people are saying no, you don't. A lot of people are saying yes, you do. But it comes to the factor of offset, if you have any camber, and how thick your tires are. I was rocking 17x9. The wheels that I have right now are 17x9 plus 35 offset. So they're pretty average offset wheels that you see on the Civics. Actually on wheels in general. I had no camber. I was lowered on Eibach springs, and I didn't have my fenders rolled. But I did also have 215x35 tires. So I had a really thin tire, and I had a really good amount of stretch on them. But I didn't roll them. I didn't rub. I didn't have to roll them. I also had stock camber, so I was fine with it, you know. I did like how it looked. When I ended up getting my Sumitomo tires, I ended up going with a lot more meatier fitment. So I couldn't find 225x40, so I ended up getting 225x45. And my fronts didn't rub as much as my rears, but even with my Eibach springs, I was rubbing with 225x35. So and I know a lot of different tires have different specs, like 225x45 Sumitomos might be slightly different than 225x45 Michelin Super Sports. You know what I mean? Like, they might be slightly different, but at the end of the day, you had a lot of people like the Tong Man. He used to have 225x45 in the rears. He didn't rub, according to him, back in the day when he had other different types of tires. But then I rubbed with 225x35, and I was lowered on the same springs as him and everything else. Coils, rolled fenders, and camber kit, and I don't rub anymore. I'm glad I went that route, because in the future I can always change the setup that I have by just changing the setup that I have, the specs that I have, because I already have all the tools necessary to do it. So if I want to go less camber, I can do that. If I want to raise the car or lower it even more, I can do that. So, you know, if you're gonna go 17x9, just make sure you get the right tire specs, and just make sure that you do your research. Rolling fenders isn't bad, so I did them and they're fine. Roger and Tuna, have you have you ever been able to test drive an FK8 Type R yet? And what is your take on it? Do you agree with the pricing, knowing it's front-wheel drive, or should it have been rear-wheel drive? I have not been able to drive one yet. Would I want to drive one yet? Yes, I would. Gotham. Get out. I have not driven one yet, but I would like to drive one day, the Type R. Do I agree with the pricing range? No, I do not. I believe it is too pricey for a Civic, because at the end of the day, it is still a Civic. But it does compete with the STI, RS, Evo, the Golf R. It competes with them no matter what you guys say. Even though the other ones are all-wheel drive, yes, it's a front-wheel drive. Do I agree it should have been a rear-wheel drive? No, it should stay a front-wheel drive. Maybe even all-wheel drive? No, that's what the Civic has been known for, and I actually like front-wheel drive cars. I like all of them. I like all-wheel drive, rear-wheel drive, and front-wheel drive. I don't have any preferences. So, if it does become rear-wheel drive, I guarantee it'll be a lot more pricier than it is now. So front-wheel drive at like 35 grand, give or take. Yes, that's a lot, but I probably won't buy one at that price, and they're probably not going to go down in price for a while. So I don't know. I hope that answered your question. It's Miggy. Would you go lower? Future plans? No, I'm not going to go lower. I'm not about the static life. I'm not about the low life. I am pretty low, but I'm not slammed. I like functional over form. I've said this plenty of times in my previous videos. I like knowing that I can carry a passenger in the car without having to worry about rubbing. Does that make sense? Even though I don't put anybody in my back seats, I still sometimes put people on my passenger seat, and I just don't want to avoid all that. If I had a coupe, if I had a legit two-seater, then yeah, I'd probably slam it and probably go even lower. But I'm one of those that not a big fan of a lot of camber, and I'd rather just get rid of the wheel well gap versus excessive camber and slamming its nuts to the floor, you know what I mean? Future plans, I do have a couple future plans for the car. I am looking into getting a carbon fiber hood, but I'm probably not going to get one unless I struck gold on one. I'm not going to get worried about it until Black Friday, because if I can save a couple bucks, I'm going to save a couple bucks. So next major cosmetic is probably going to be for the hood, and it's going to be a carbon fiber hood. I'm looking into getting one with vents, so either VIS or Sabon. And as for any more cosmetic plans on the outside, I'm looking into getting a paint job for the car. I'm going to keep it black just because I like black. It looks really good. I do plan on supercharging the car, and I don't know when I'm going to do that. As of right now, I am driving 50 miles a day, give or take, to work and back, all highway miles, and I do have to go up the grade, which is like 3-4 miles up, all uphill. So I might not be supercharging it now. Might do it like sometime in the future. So I do plan on doing that, and or building the engine. I don't know. I'm between either or, but I might be going first towards supercharger, and then if I have to build the engine and then go from there, you know. So, and then eventually the transmission as well. Any wrap or paint job in the future? I'm not a big fan of wrap. I might say that now, but I prefer paint than wrap. That's just me. Who knows? I might change my future. That's from Neo0495. So yeah, I'm sure I answered that question already. So I am planning on painting the car. I do want to just keep it black. Black looks good, and it looks classy like that, you know. So most likely a paint job in the future. eDog2318. I have an FA5 2011. I installed an acrylic shifter and main bushings, also adjust the CMC, but when I go into third gear, it goes in but grinds. Swap your transmission fluid. I went with OEM Honda. It's not bad, and I just swapped it out, and the grind is out. I don't grind anymore, and I also do have base bushings, cable bushings. I swapped out the transmission fluid, and I also have a short shifter adapter, and I don't grind anymore. So maybe that's just my car. I know some cars still have it. I'm surprised their 2011 has that, because from 2009, after they got the facelift, they pretty much got almost all or majority of the grinding issues. So swap out the transmission fluid. I'm hoping that helps. If that doesn't help, I would look into maybe even getting a new slave and a new cable shifter. I think that's what it's called. I went with PRL. E-Man suggested that, so I went with PRL clutch cables. Finest in Cali. What new mods have you been looking into in the near future? new wheels, turbo, throttle body, wide body, etc. I love the channel, by the way. So to get into further details with that, in order, this is what I want to do. Of course, at any given time, plans can change, but as of right now, I do plan on keeping the car for a good amount of time. And yeah, so I am gonna get my carbon fiber hood first, sometime at the end of November. I am gonna give it small touch-ups on the fenders because it's starting to rust, and I want to prevent that. I might wrap the hood gloss black just to make it match with the car. Yes, I can just repaint the entire car, but I'll answer that right now. Once that's done, I really want to look into getting some RPF ones. RPF ones are my go-to wheels. I've always wanted them since a while. I know they're every original wheels that every car out there has, but that's something that I've always wanted, so I'm going to be looking into getting that. 17x9 plus 22 offset. I want an aggressive offset, and I'll get the right size tires, and now that I have camber, coils, and rolled fenders, I wouldn't have to worry about rubbing. After that, I might look into getting the exact headlights that I want. I want to get something similar to what Royce had. I liked how his looked amazing, so I want to get something similar to that. That way I can get some cool demon eyes and everything right there. After that, before I even get the paint job, I'm looking into doing the front end swap, so to the 09 version. I just like the 09 a lot better, and I'll answer the reason why I like the 09 a lot better. So I'm looking into swapping the front hood bumper with all OEM. That way I have good fitment on that, and then I'll look into painting the car that way to make everything match with it. And then once I'm done with that, I'll look into possibly putting more money into the engine versus, you know, like either supercharging or NA. So I don't know which one I'm still picking, but I am choosing more supercharger setup than building the engine. And then after that, maybe to complete the car in total, like every now and then, like I'll probably throw more money into the engine if I do have the backup, if I do have the funds. But my main goal is to make my car wide body, and I would really like to go with the Kevman's Art of Wide Body. I know you guys have seen the Sir Thomas wide body kit for the FG2. That's the wide body kit that here's a picture of it. So Sir Thomas, he has been doing this for a long time. It took about maybe a year, if I remember correctly, to get all the fitment perfectly. I love how his looks. What I want to do, I want to get that wide body on this car, all black, because I just like how black looks. It'll make it look really classy, and it'll make it look like it's pretty much wearing a tuxedo. And less camber, so it'll be more of a, I guess you can say, the track stance, and go from there. So that's the main goal for this car. How long is it going to take to get there? I don't know. I did start a new job, which involves a lot more money, so I'm hoping it would speed up the process. But because I did start the new job, I do have less time to do videos and less time to spend with my family and with my girl and my dog and everything. So my goal right now is to put at least one video out a week, at least, just to keep you guys entertained and to see how everything goes with that. And then maybe eventually, once I get used to the hours and all that, push 2 a week, and then maybe, you know, like start from there again. So I do appreciate all the time and patience you guys have had with me. So that's pretty much it. Like, that's the ultimate goal for my FG2. I was thinking about going fender flares with this car and just getting some like wide set of tires, but the more I thought about it, the more I said no. Like, if I'm gonna do it once, I want to do it right. So I am gonna dedicate this car to doing the front 09 swap, and then doing the Kevman's Art of Wide Body. Kevman's wide body for the FG2. A lot of people don't like it. A lot of people say it's a lot of money, but honestly, it's something that I want to do. It's something different. I know by then it'll be a lot more popular, because right now I think there's only 2 cars, maybe 3, but I've personally only seen 2 cars on Instagram and pretty much everywhere on the forums that has that wide body for this car. And the reason why I will be doing the 09 swap is because that wide body's only for the 09 to 2011 FG2. They don't have one for the 2006 to 2008. It would be a lot smarter for me to just sell this FG2 and get newer 09 to 2011 coupe, But I already have a new clutch on this one. I already have all my parts on it. I don't want to do the hassle of swapping everything out, so I'm gonna keep it as it is. The mileage is okay. I just passed 100,000 miles on it, so, and that was recently too, so I still got a long way to go with this car. So these K-Series are gonna last us a good while. So that's the plan for right now. I know a couple of you guys have asked me would I get a second car. Yes, I would love to, but right now technically my second car is my girl's TC, and I mean, I will most likely start putting more money into that car versus anything else. I'm not looking into getting a second car or like a project car in the meantime, because I just don't have the space for it. That's the main reason. I don't have the space for it for where I live. I think that's gonna be it from right there. So I'll see you guys in another video. Thank you all for watching. If you guys are new to the channel, please subscribe. It really does help the boy out. We're close to 6,000. My goal is to hit 10,000, so we'll pretty much go from there. See you guys in another video. You guys have a good day. Stay classy. Peace.